Let's talk about Ezra Miller.
Oh no.
I know RJ's like, oh, son of a bitch. No, I just want to talk about like because there's been some updates on this stuff, right? There's been some updates on this stuff, and there's been some now. I guess more people are questioning his future, right? They're questioning his future with
Mhm.
with everything, and it definitely, yeah, it kind of like it's kind of crazy, like you don't really know what's going to happen here with this. So let's find out more. All right. So the couple that accused Ezra Miller of assaulting them has been granted a temporary restraining order against Ezra after Ezra allegedly threatened to burn them. And yeah, that's a new thing, right?
Mhm.
You know. So according to the article, it says Flash star Ezra Miller is being accused of threatening to burn a couple in Hawaii. According to the court documents, Stoyan Kojoharov and his wife, Nigel Hayes, filed a temporary restraining order against Miller on Tuesday, alleging that the 29-year-old burst into their bedroom window and threatened to burn them. The couple also claims that Miller stole Hayes' passport and wallet, which includes several social security card or her social security card, driver's license, and bank cards, as well as several items belonging to the family. The couple is claiming they have and will continue to suffer emotional distress as a result of Miller's behavior and are hoping the restraining order keeps him at bay. In the filing, the couple alleges that due to Miller's fame and wealth, his access to weapons is much easier, and they worry that the actor could send associates to harass them. On Wednesday, a judge granted the couple's petition. He is ordered, this would be Ezra Miller, is ordered to appear for a court hearing on the temporary restraining order on April 13th.
Hmm.
And this just comes again days after Miller was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and harassment after an alleged incident at a karaoke bar in Hilo.
Right.
So again, it's like, and not only that, I talked about this last night, was the fact that Ezra had also had there's 10 other phone calls made to authorities in Hawaii before the bar incident. And then before even going to Hawaii, Ezra Miller got into an altercation with LAPD after being denied service to a bar in Chinatown.
Hmm.
So it's like, and never mind also we watch Ezra Miller ground pound a woman in Iceland, you know. And so there's a lot here that's going on. I've said this is a cry for help. Now we're getting more details about this. Like the burning them is definitely something. Going on here to say that South Hilo patrol officers responded to a report of of a disorderly patron at a bar on Silva Street. During the course of the investigation, police determined that the man, later identified as Ezra Miller, became agitated while patrons at the bar began singing karaoke. So it's like, this is where they were singing Shallows.
Right.
And so police alleged that Miller began yelling obscenities and at one point grabbed the microphone from a 23-year-old woman singing karaoke, which is where the disorderly conduct offense came from, and then later lunged at a 32-year-old man playing darts, which is where the harassment offense came from. The bar owner asked Miller to calm down several times to no avail. The report states that Miller was arrested and charged on both offenses, and total bail was set at $500. He provided the bail and was released. So, I mean, there is, you know, I kind of agree with Reeds here. Says that are these episodes? Are these drunken episodes? I mean, like in your, you're not a professional. You're just kind of an armchair critic like I am. But like,
Mhm.
what's your take on this?
Um, man. Basically, honestly, like from my perspective, I've been saying this for a while. It's not something to laugh at. It's not something to make fun of. This is a very serious, very tumultuous thing. It's a very fluid situation, and at this point, I think that Ezra needs help. I think that much is clear. I think that they need to seek some kind of rehabilitation, maybe, whether it's related to substance abuse. I know we've been hearing that apparently he might be going through some kind of personal tragedy, whether it be with his family or his friends. That's why he's in Hawaii, according to people who have been talking to him. I don't know what's going on. Um, I will say this. And again, I'm not trying to like be a jerk. I just think that I think a lot of people are quick to make excuses for Ezra, as fans of DC films, just as fans of his work as an actor. I don't think that's right. I think if you promote and say that you believe in accountability is greater than entertainment, you need to hold Ezra accountable and perhaps not engage in what I would perceive as victim blaming, which I see a lot of going on right now, to where we have to assume the worst of the people who he may have hurt. Again, the thing is, if the police were called 10 times, as we're now finding out, if the police found ground to arrest him and remove him from the premises, not the other two people at the karaoke bar, I think that says something. And in regards to the restraining order, I know some people have takes on that. Well, they can write whatever they want on that. It doesn't really say anything. Well, let's wait and see what the court date holds, what the judge rules, if they granted, and if they think that what they said is valid or not. But again, I hope Ezra gets the help that they need, because they clearly need it. But at this point, like I've been saying, I think at this point they're becoming a liability to the studio, and I think they're becoming a danger to themselves and others.
Well, that's
Yeah.
actually where things get a little bit on the interesting side, because, I was looking around and stuff, and you have, DC Direct saying here that Ezra Miller's DC future in jeopardy following legal troubles. If this, of course, is all
Well,
speculation.
no, and this is blowing up because this is the thing, right? Again, and this is what I've been saying. If this was the first time something like this had happened, would it be news? Yes, but I think people would be more forgiving. But because it's like the second or third time after the choking incident, which I know people like to downplay, but for a lot of people still hadn't gotten over that. This basically is pushing people over the edge, being like, "All right, I'm done. I don't want Ezra around anymore. Right? I don't want him playing this character. I don't think that he clearly needs help, and I don't want to support the films that he's currently making." That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Again, and he's not a kid. Okay, he's a 29, 30-year-old man. He should know better. Okay.
Well, okay. So, and I'll play devil's advocate for a hot second, because I've made mistakes at the age of 30. I think there is, a lot going on with this that I think, give him the chance, them the chance to get the help that they need, obviously. But this is where, DC Direct brings up an interesting point. So it says here, could this be it for Ezra Miller and their time at Warner Brothers? That's the multi-million-dollar question. As mentioned above, Warner Brothers has a history of cutting ties with talent that gets tangled in controversy. So what would stop them from doing it again? The studio first dealt with this with Johnny Depp on Fantastic Beasts after the actor was accused of abusing his ex-wife. Warner's removed him from Fantastic Beasts 3, cutting ties altogether, which has still angered a lot of Harry Potter fans. Then Heard got tangled up in the public squabble after of her own after it was revealed that she too had been abusing Depp. Warner's has yet to annex Heard as of now, but they have distanced themselves greatly from the actress. Have you heard the rumors that she has been downplayed? Mara's been downplayed of a character in Aquaman 2?
Yes, I have. Yeah. I don't buy it, to be honest. I think she is a major character. I don't think they're going to just put her off to the side. However, I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. In regards to Ezra Miller, though, when it comes to Fantastic Beasts, I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't think that's going to be much of an issue going forward. So. Like I said, I think the Fantastic Beast thing is a non-issue at this point after the third film. So.
Okay. So you think Credence gets yeeted, huh? All right. Well, I don't want to. I'm going to go see. I am going to go see. I mean, I've seen all of them at this point. I'm pretty.
This one actually is getting good reviews. They're saying it's probably the best of the three, which is very nice to hear.
I think that has a lot to do, with the fact that, I think it has a lot to do with the new screenwriter. But anyway, it finishes up here by saying, as for Miller, anything could happen, but this is an actor that not only means a lot to Warner's on the DC side, but is deeply tied to Fantastic Beasts franchise as well. If they were to give them the boot, it would result in a massive shift of strategy for the company going forward. I mean, look, if you're right about Credence and Fantastic Beasts, this is about the time to eliminate that character, because really there's not much there. I think the big reveal from the last movie was
Well, also you have to remember they wrote this third film to where if they wanted to, the story can end here, just in case. Because remember they were talking about a 5-movie arc,
yeah,
very similar to another franchise. Funny enough, but they wrote this to be a 5-film arc initially, but they wrote this third film in a way to where you can end the story here, just make it a clean trilogy.
really.
So yeah.
That I did not know about. To be fair, I haven't done any research.
Yeah,
into this
yeah,
one.
they were talking about that. It's been kind
Okay.
of like around the
Oh,
scooper
okay.
and the rumor mill. But they wrote
Well-
the third, like they could still continue after this movie, but just in case they wrote, like they want to write themselves in a corner. Like it could end here and it'd be fine. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, given the problems that this franchise has had, we'll have to see how this one does. Obviously, real quick here, HBars for $5. Thank you. Saying here, a racist stormtrooper thinks this is normal bar stuff and that Ezra is innocent.
well, the racist stormtrooper is just a fucking moron who just tries to perpetuate and push people's buttons and cause fights and chats because he's a dickless chap. So yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, but it's wrong when I do. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that one. Yes, that person is definitely a jerk. And then Benson here for £5. Thank you very much. It says, can you imagine defending a guy regardless of his crimes? It's clear he doesn't have a good heart and nobody should defend him to get an interview. I should really pre-read these. I don't pre-read them. I just kind of bring them up on screen. In the sake of fairness, I would argue that, having problems with alcohol and substance abuse and maybe mental health, these are treatable things. It all is about whether or not Ezra wants to get treated, wants to get help.
Well, it's about having, again, forgiveness and like giving someone the opportunity to improve upon themselves, the mistakes they're making. I'm not willing to like cancel him and say, I'm done with Ezra Miller, get him out of here, screw that guy. No, it's not fair.
Yeah. I agree with you. I do feel, though, that in many instances, a lot of people don't get the help they need until they hit rock bottom. I think there's, especially in the entertainment space, especially like not even in Hollywood, but like, let's say in the influencer space, right? Like, content creators online, things like that. There's a fair amount of enabling that happens. There's a fair amount of people who just want to like suck up to somebody and then to feed them bad information or tell them what they want to hear. And that tweaks out their entire mindset. And you can see this in certain areas where it's like certain groups of people, they start to like block people out, right? They start like, excommunicado people, like let's say Andy Signore. If you ever at all criticize Andy Signore, you're out, you're done. You're excommunicado. People who like to draw lines in the sand and make friends choose sides, that kind of stuff where the echo chamber is. We see this quite a bit. And I think that's where, and it's a problem because it's very easy to get sucked into that mind space, by the way, because, you're getting the dopamine from people that want, that are giving you their attention. And, it can create this really weird egocentric situation. So it is what it is on that one. Cul-de-sac. Gee, I wonder who you are. Says clout chasers. I mean, it's not always clout chasers. I think clout chase is kind of, I think clout chase is not always the correct word. And the reason why I say that is because it's not that everybody wants to end up having the clout. I think what they want is they want to be part of a tribe. They want to be part of a community. And that is the best way that they're able to go forward. That's what I think. It's not always malicious. People don't generally join a cult in order to like, drink Kool-Aid laced with cyanide, waiting for the Haley Bob comment right away without question. It takes a little bit of time to edge them to that point of going like, hey, it's time, sort of like if you've never looked up the whole Heaven's Gate thing, do you know the Heaven's Gate, that whole thing, that cult?
No, I don't.
Oh man. Back in the late 90s, there was a cult out of California called Heaven's Gate, and they believed that the Haley Bob comet or the Hale Bob comet was basically, I would argue, like I think it was like an intergalactic vessel or something like that. It was like They were going to be transported to that vessel, but they had to leave their earthly body behind. And so I think it was like 23 of them decided, to drink cyanide, like Kool-Aid, laced Kool-Aid, and all while wearing matching Adidas tracksuits, and I think like shoes. And they all died, right?
Jeez.
And but not all of them died. Actually, there were people that were chosen to like make sure everybody else was dead, and they weren't going to die, and they're still alive. And it was a big thing. It was a huge thing back in the day. I mean, like, like, dude, it's nuts. I don't even know. Okay. Oh yeah. So here, I'll show you this real quick. Just while we're on the subject of it, talk about weirdos and cults and stuff. This is the Heaven's Gate website. It's still active.
Oh wow.
This is
sometimes like the Space Jam movie website from like the 90s.
This is
forever.
This is around the same night. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously like this is old.
Old. You could order a hard copy of their book.
Well, yeah, look at this one here. Our position against suicide. Considering that the people, they all committed suicide to do all that. But yeah, the website's still active. Sorry, they're in Arizona now. Like, yeah, like you can order a hard copy of their book, I guess. I haven't spent a lot of time reading this in here, but this is what they said. Whether Hale-Bopp as a companion or not, it's irrelevant from our perspective. However, its arrival is joyous, very significant to us at Heaven's Gate. The joy is that our older member in the evolutionary level above human, the kingdom of heaven, has made it clear to us that Hale-Bopp's approach is the marker we've been waiting for. The time for the arrival of the spacecraft from the level above human to take us home to their world in the literal heavens. Our 22 years of classroom here on Earth is finally coming to a conclusion. Graduation from the human evolutionary level. We are happily prepared to leave this world to go with TI's crew. So yeah, it's very wild stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That of course is.
And then we come back to a picture of Ezra Miller's face.
Well, I'm not trying. Well, I am not trying to argue that the two are connected. I'm merely pointing out though that there's a lot of craziness that goes on in this world.
Yes.
So that's what it really kind of comes down to, right? That's what it really kind of comes down to. There's a lot of craziness in the world and shit. And you got to watch out for it. But with Ezra, I don't see Ezra, like starting a cult and whatever. That would be Jared Leto.
Yes, that would be Jared Leto.
That would be Jared Leto.
A lot of people don't bring up so much for accountability over entertainment, but whatever.
Oh yeah. Totally. Totes, right? Like, yeah. Zoe Kravitz said a thing, but Jared Leto started a sex cult, and the guy who's trying to cancel everybody went to an early screening of Morbius and liked it.